Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast, your #1 gaming podcast on YouTube. I'm your host, Knowledge.
And I'm Javi. We'd like to shout out all our sponsors, which is just Control Freaks.
Control Freaks.
Our GLP code, please use it. We have our app still, if you guys haven't downloaded it.
Yeah.
We've mentioned before, we are having trouble with our channel, but we're trying to get back into doing the podcast. We've been doing live streams.
Yeah.
So this is our first official podcast back.
We're back.
Like,
I know we've
almost
been
a month.
Yeah, it's been a month hiatus, but we're going to be posting it here on GLPtv for the time being, and then we'll see how it goes. We'll figure things out as it goes.
Hopefully by the end of next month, we'll know if we can at least post stuff over 15 minutes, which if you don't understand, there's going to be a link in the description for the video of what happened with our channel if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And so we can't post anything over 15 minutes, which includes podcasts.
Damn it. But anyways, let's jump right into it. The news of this week that we want to cover. The first thing was
probably the kind of like the biggest thing too, I think.
Well, I think it's the death knell that we've been talking about for old gen, which is
the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, so Black Ops 3 is not going to get campaign on Xbox 360 and PS3. And there's been an uproar from people who are like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. Let's cover the details first. It's going to be cheaper. $10 cheaper. Is that fair, do you think? Or do you think it should be even cheaper than that?
It's one of those things I don't think they would lower it more than that. When I heard about it, I knew there was going to be a price cut. Yeah. I know a lot of people were expecting maybe $20, $30 price cut. I was like, really? That's a 8-hour campaign.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on multiplayer and zombie? Even if the campaign is generally more well developed and more well done, they have to keep the infrastructure for the online, and that's more important.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect more than $15, and they only dropped it down 10.
Well, I didn't expect anything. I thought they were gonna cancel it, to be honest, because we hadn't heard any news about it.
So it's good that they're at least letting you play. I was mentioning to you, it'd be kind of nice if they released the campaign on its own, standalone, but let you maybe only as digital, because it wouldn't make sense retail. And if you already own the game, you can purchase it for $10
or something like that.
60, yeah.
Now, see, my question is, do you think it's really that a matter of time, or maybe that the disc don't have enough memory, or is it a matter of they really just can't do it on the 360?
I'm sure the campaign takes up the most memory out of anything, because for the online and stuff, they have their server that holds most of that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming their server holds most of the online. Maybe it doesn't hold the maps and stuff, but it holds on everything else.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how it works.
Right.
I don't think the server holds too much other than just communicating between.
Right, but
Xboxes.
Do you think out of all three of those, because it's going to be zombies, campaign, or let's just the three things they have: zombies, campaign, and multiplayer. I think campaign would take the most memory.
Yeah, I think for sure it does. But my question is, does it matter? Is it the memory, or is it the fact that the Xbox literally just can't do that?
Granted, I guess.
We haven't played the campaign, so we don't know. Maybe it's super ambitious, right?
But even so, it kind of makes sense, because usually multiplayer is a little bit sometimes the graphics are just a little bit lower, because you have to be able to play it online than it is, playing it on a single player campaign. Yeah. So it has to be a little bit you're not really noticeable, but I'm sure there's some kind of software differences between that, so it can run so smoothly online.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if it can run online, there's no reason why it can't run the campaign on the Xbox. No, I'm actually
kind of saying the opposite.
Okay.
Because I think it might be easier for let's say the campaign is super ambitious.
Yeah.
So that I just feel for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's the cutscenes or whatever, but I just feel that might be harder to do on the old consoles.
I don't think it's the cutscenes, because then that's
pre-rendered video. Exactly. No, I don't know. It's just something about the way the single player is compared to the multiplayer, that it's easier to put the multiplayer on there than it is single player. I really don't. We really don't.
I don't know. I know. Because you were saying, if it's just a graphic downgrade, then I don't see any reason why it can't run it. They could just downgrade the graphics. Yeah, but it is a 4-player co-op campaign, and it's meant to be played that way. So who knows? Maybe it's super ambitious and it can't be done.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think for example, Borderlands has 4-player co-ops on the one, 4-player co-op on the one, but it doesn't have 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
On the other system.
Yeah, maybe there's something really difficult about doing
and I remember when I was playing with like people, if you were to go to your menu and you're trying to shoot something, and someone you're co-oping with goes into their menu, even online, if I'm not mistaken, though I didn't do online very much. It's like my brother went into his menu, like my gun would be moving super slow, like it would lag. But that's Borderlands. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it's different. I mean it's not like 4-player co-op's a new thing. Like Halo had 4-player co-op on every single one, you know. So like it's not a huge deal, I think. But I don't know. We won't know until we see it. But I honestly think it's more of a they didn't have time. Like they could just release it on a separate like just downloadable thing. I just think that they didn't have time to develop it. Okay. You know what I mean? Like it would be almost like developing a whole new game.
Yeah, one of the craziest things that I can think of right now, like for like something that's cross-platform like that is Destiny, because everything you do on the 360 directly, like at the same exact time, transfers over to the one. Granted, you obviously can't play on the same account.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still like it's. They're almost connected completely. Yeah. You know, the 360 and the Xbox One. Just the fact that you can't play with each other. Yeah. And I guess I'm assuming the PS3 and PS4 also.
Yeah, and it's been that way for the past couple of years. Like you saw that with Ghost, you see that with Advanced Warfare, but you won't see that for Black Ops.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, they said that.
Oh, they said okay, yeah. So
it won't. Like so, your leveling won't transfer over.
Right. So I'm very curious how that's gonna to see how this game is so much different from those, because Advanced Warfare just came out last year and it was able to do it. Yeah. Destiny came out just last year and it was able to do it. Granted, Destiny has gone out on saying, like, I forgot what was it they said, but there is some limitations that they have to work with or work around because of the older consoles. Yeah, and I think they started developing with the older consoles in mind. So I mean, that too they've been. Yeah, I think
Black Ops 3 was being developed with the new consoles in mind.
And then kind of like Mortal Kombat X. I think Mortal Kombat X was also for new consoles. Yeah. And then they were trying to do something for the old ones. You're like, sorry, but all your pre-orders just we had to cut it
because it gets to a point where it's like, all right, you can water it down, but like, the developers don't want to water it down to the point where it's a different game, you know, like otherwise then just do a different
and something like game. Mortal Kombat, you really have to think they actually canceled it, so I'm assuming everyone got their money back.
Of course.
So do you know how much money they're missing out on not selling it on the old consoles? So there must be something like, I think they would invest the money because so many people
sell it, to sell it, or who knows, maybe the pre-order numbers were low.
That could be true, but in my head I still think there's too many people playing the old Xbox consoles, 360 and Xbox
and the PlayStation 3. Yeah, I think it's maybe one more year until people make the full switch. I guess my little thing is just, it's funny. I love going to the forums and just reading people cry about it, because like I've always said, like, look, I know some people can't afford it. I've been there. I understand, and I have all the consoles because I have to, because of our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way that you have to and can make and are able to.
Yeah, but it's been 10 years, guys. Like, it's been a long time since the 360 came out.
You know? I only got it 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's literally been 10 years, like 10 complete years, a whole decade. Like, I understand it's expensive, but at the same time, I rather them not hold anything back for the new games, so that they have to water it down for the old consoles. I rather have it this way, because I bought the new consoles, so I'm like, man, I want a next gen game. And the same thing was people were talking about Halo 5. It's like, what? It's not gonna be on the 360. I'm never buying another Xbox again. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, it's one of those things. Like, if they don't do it this way, the new console won't succeed. They won't be making any money.
Yeah, and they're not gonna be able to push it to the next level. And the thing is, we haven't really seen like a next level type game, but they're getting better. I think they're getting a lot better. So
cutscenes have been so far amazing. Like Mad Max, amazing. Yeah. The Taken King recently, amazing. You know? And I mean, granted, maybe they could have looked the same on 360 and PS3, but it's just something about it doesn't seem the same anymore.
Yeah, you can tell it's age, and at the end of the day, fuck the graphics. Like, it's just the mechanics of the games are getting better. Like, you can feel like you feel like for something for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it's been getting a lot of good previews where people are like, wow, like this is like looks as beautiful as Unity. Because the thing is, Unity looked beautiful, but it's actually running way faster like an Assassin's Creed game should be running. So you get that whole beautiful city that's full of people and in Syndicate, and it runs like the old Assassin's Creed ran. Like it just feels smooth and fast and all that. So like that's just something that you literally cannot do, you know, anymore like on old consoles. So I think that's the death knell, guys. They canceled Mortal Kombat X. Black Ops 3 is only
at least you're getting multiplayer.
And I know a lot of people are still gonna buy it. I mean, like, why not? You know, but
most people play it for the multiplayer anyway.
Yeah.
And then they do have Zombies, which has a campaign, some kind of campaign.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a story this time, like a real story. So, and you have zombies in general. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you know, you're getting almost a complete package. If you're missing out on the story, go watch it on GLP. Like, watch it on our channel, Gamers Little Playground. Yeah. Watch the story, then buy the game and play the multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly. Save $10.
Yeah, but anyways, kind of related to this is the esports part of it, which they announced for Black Ops 3 too, and some other esports news too. But first with Black Ops 3, they actually announced a Call of Duty World League, which I think was a big step in moving COD esports forward.
We've talked about it before that, you know, esports, you know, whatever you want to call it, but professional or competitive gaming, especially shooters and even like Dota and whatnot, are very popular, have a huge audience. I mean, people are wanting to jump on that. They're doing the World League, which is, I guess, replacing World COD Champs?
It's replacing COD Champs, yeah. And like some of the details are, COD Champs used to take place like May, April-ish in the spring. Now they moved it to the fall, so it's going to be at the end of the year, which is good. I think it's really good because, you know, one of the things that always bothered me was that they always kept changing the rules throughout the year, and then like the game is different in spring than it is in fall as far as how people play it. And then they also put an age restriction, which they already had.
Yeah, 18, right?
It's 18, but the thing is, since now it's year round, a lot of these tournaments are going to be taking place in between. Plus MLG tournaments, they're speculating, are also going to be 18 or over. So the only tournaments that are going to be people are going to be able to play that they're under 18 are UMG tournaments. So that's like, that threw out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, the best players are the ones with the best reaction time, and the ones with the best reaction time are usually between 14 to 18.
Yeah. I mean, it's a balance. I think if you look at it, like if you look at the best teams, they're all over 18 right now. Right now. But I think a lot of the good up and comers are 15, 16.
Yeah, it's just saying like a lot of in a lot of tournaments you see like just like a random team like just go all the way to the grand finals or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one really knows about them, but you know they have the most beast reactions ever.
Yeah.
Granted, they won't make it far in the next tournament.
Yeah.
But you know it's because a lot of the professional, like I guess the more what is it? Set in stone. I can't think of the other word for it, but it's the set in stone professionals.
Yeah.
Like are
the
top
established,
teams, the established teams. Yeah. They're smarter.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have an off tournament, but they're smarter players overall.
Yeah. But I think that itself though might hurt the scene because Call of Duty does have a lot of young players. But then on the other part, it might help the scene because a lot of things one of the things that holds it back is that the sponsors don't want to come in because the community itself is so immature.
Not only and I think it would just help in general because I want to say maybe this will help it be a little bit more not accepted, but like seeing that like, you know, they don't, because a lot of kids just go there like they're going like during high school and stuff, which is fine, but like I'm sure that's one of the things people look down. It's like, oh, you can be doing, you should be finishing high school. Like right now, it's getting to the point where college is starting to be like the requirement, but it's still high school. It's like you need to at least do high school. Yeah, like finish high school and then complete. Yeah. Now my question is though, like, what's gonna happen to like those guys who are younger? Are they gonna? It's not like they can just stop. They'll be like, all right, I'll be back when I'm 18. Yeah, no, I'm sure they're like, it's one of those things. It's just like. I mean, I guess it's not like high school basketball, but like it's something like that where like they'll still be playing, and then when they're able to, they'll get picked up or whatever, however it works for that. Yeah. So there's a lot of big changes with the World League, and it's gonna be,
I think there's only 3 professional areas now, which is Australia, United States, and Europe.
And if you guys like, I guess the reason for this, if you guys don't know, is like I think it was the last tournament.
It's been every single COD champs. Every single COD champs.
I think that one of the last ones, a lot of people really started voicing their opinion.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a bracket somewhere where it was like, it was what, 10 teams?
Yeah, it was 3 teams.
Literally. Oh, 3 teams.
3 teams. It was like Indonesia or something like that.
Yeah, so there was only 3 teams in the whole country or whatever it was. And they weren't as good as other countries, you know?
Their level competition is nowhere near like anything in the US, and so like that team got a spot in COD champs,
and a top US team or European team didn't get a spot.
So yeah, they're trying to balance. So they changed it from like a professional division and a challenger division.
So if you're from a different country, you have to go through the challenger to make it through.
To make it through.
If you're in Australia or everything, you're fine. Which
makes sense because it is like it's unfair to the good American teams. Like the 12th best American team is probably better than every other team in the world.
Yeah, because the top, like that's the reason those 3 countries are the ones that are being in the, like.
Yeah, those are the top
areas,
3, not countries.
Areas. Thank you.
Yeah, like Europe is a country.
No, I'm just thinking Australia.
Yeah, it's a continent, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a country too. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a good change too. And they did it for the perfect game. I think they were waiting, and they upped it to $3 million. It used to be $1 million.
So we're not sure if that means prize pool at the championship or just like money throughout.
I think it's throughout the league. I think they're running it like a league and leading up to the finals. You know, so I think it's throughout, but still, it's a lot more money. Plus, MLG is gonna put up hopefully more money. They already put up more money this year than they've ever had for COD. Now maybe next year they will too. And that's with COD kind of honestly been doing pretty bad. Like the last tournament in the finals, they had Optic versus FaZe in the finals, and they only had 60,000 viewers.
Yeah, AW.
I know exactly.
I think at the beginning AW was like, yeah, we want to watch this, and then after it's like, oh, it's just people boosting.
It's just like it's too hectic. If you're a casual person, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like people are just dying, and I don't know. Even the casters don't know. They're stumbling. They can't keep up. They don't know what the hell's going on. So yeah, hopefully Black Ops 3 faces that. Now the other esports announcement that was really cool.
Yeah, Turner Broadcaster, which is TBS.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that's the
Turner is like one of the biggest.
The big one, but TBS
TNT.
But specifically TBS is I guess going to be partnering with WME/IMG, which I'm not sure what they are.
No idea.
But all I know is that they're creating an esports league featuring Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
which is awesome. And then the awesome thing is that they're gonna do 2 10-week chunks where they do on TV. They're gonna do Fridays, right?
Yeah, 20. They will broadcast 20 live events on TV on Friday nights in 2016.
Yeah, and then in 10-week sections.
Yeah,
like, so 10-10, and they're gonna be like seasons and playoffs.
So they're gonna include playoffs and championships.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good test run to see how competitive gaming can do now. I mean, they've tried this before and it's failed horribly.
Yeah, and I think that like the main problem is no one's gonna be waiting for a certain time. Like the good thing about Twitch and whatever is even though you have to be on a certain time to catch it, you can catch it later.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with this, and now with TVs everybody has TiVo or DVR or whatever, and hopefully the production value is so much better than you can get on a live event. They'll help. Yeah.
Because I wonder, does this mean that these events will only be broadcast live, and will it be like actual teams that people want to watch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously, TV has the money to grab teams.
If they put up the money, the teams will come. The way it has to succeed is like it has to be only on TV. You can't watch it on Twitch.
Unfortunately, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're gonna do.
I don't know. Yeah, but like that's the way they have to succeed, and that's gonna be unfortunate for Twitch because granted, I think still they'll probably have their own tournaments, their own like things that they'll be able to stream because this seems like they're starting their own like season.
I mean, like there's so many freaking leagues and tournaments throughout the year. It's like this is just another one to add on. But the point is, is it going to be exclusive to TV? And that's the only way I think it can succeed, because if people really want to watch them, they're going to have to go to their TV, or they can see it later on YouTube, unless they want to be bitches and just copyright strike everybody who tries to post it on YouTube, which they might do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? But that's a really good test to see where competitive gaming stands right now in the American landscape.
I don't know what the number, like which ones, because I know COD isn't the highest.
Oh, of course, the lowest, huh?
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's the lowest.
It's the of the top. Yeah. So I wonder, because I know CS:GO is very popular, has been very popular since it, you know. But I wonder if something like League of Legends, Dota, and those games, are they higher up, and why didn't they do that first? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're going for a more global audience. So CS:GO is probably tied up there with League of Legends and Dota. And I think shooters, I don't know, like if there's it's just so weird because I don't know anybody who plays League of Legends, and I just think that's just in my friend group. But like, I don't know, I guess I know a couple people who play, but I don't really like know them like that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's just the friends you become with. But if it were me, I would think that everybody was watching Call of Duty, because they're like, I don't know. It makes sense that they did Counter-Strike though, because I think shooters are way easier to follow than League of Legends and Dota, and that's the main reason. Like, that's so hard for those to reach out to casual viewers, because it's like, what the fuck is, like, if you've never played the game, you don't get it. At least with a shooter, you just see them kill people, and that's
for me though. Like, I enjoy watching Counter-Strike Go, but it's sometimes just too slow for me. So that's that's something that worries me about for being on TV.
Yeah,
something like, you know, a game like COD is even sometimes a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
Especially like the older ones, but something like Halo is always fast paced, but still you're able to follow it, you know?
Yeah.
So that it made sense when that was on the TV.
Yeah, and it was super popular then.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just don't know, like for me, I don't know if I would watch it on TV.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe they have to make the production value needs to be really good. You know, so we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah.
So this news about the strike, dude, this has been like causing so many ripples in the community, and like I really love this story as far as the drama that's going on between developers and voice actors. So the voice actors, their union.
So it's a voice actor strike. The voice actors for video games are I guess trying to sign for a strike to go through. Yeah. So the union needs to vote. And if they get the percentage that they need, the voice actors will go on a strike, who are in the union, obviously. And there's some big names in there, like Will Wheaton. I don't think Troy. Like, I don't think the top three. I didn't look at the list. I didn't even, because we were just reading the article and it just said like Will Wheaton was one of the people that I guess had been talking. What's the name of the? I know for sure what's the name of the Jennifer Hale, the one who does Shepard's voice as female in Mass Effect, and she does a lot of stuff too. She's in there too. So there's some big names there. And the thing is, what they're arguing is that they want a better contract, and that they think that they deserve more. Especially when a game takes off, that they deserve residuals, they deserve a better percentage. Before we get to the actual drama, I wanted just to pose the question. It's just like, in this day and age, how much do voice actors deserve credit for? Like, does their performance make the game, or who's more important? What do you think? Do you think it's even, or obviously the developers? I think the developers by far. But not saying that the voice actors are just like useless, you know? Yeah. It's just that, like, the developers, the people creating the game, you know, it's a game in first and foremost, you know? Yeah. It doesn't have to have voice actors. Yeah. That's like a perk we get because of the technology we have now. Yeah. You know, it doesn't. They don't need to. They're great with it. You know, but would the game not be great without it? Like, what if a game like Mass Effect didn't have the voice acting, you know? Because, you know, for whatever reason, they couldn't afford it. Like, it had to be just without it. But it's still Mass Effect. Yeah. We might not get the same identity from, like, we might not see Kratos or someone like, you know, Shepard or anyone the same way as we do with their voice. But at the same time, like... Will the game be... Will it suck at that point? Yeah. If you had to read text... What you know, like, which we used to do. Like, I don't mind it at all. Yeah. But I do love voice actors. I just don't know if, like, granted, like I don't know how much they get paid, how much developers go paid. I don't know any of that shit.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They know. If they feel like they're not getting enough, maybe they aren't. But you know, I definitely think that it's not really one or the other, because I really do like, it's not like a movie.
Yeah.
Where if actors strike, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like they could still make a character in a game. He just won't have a voice, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just depends on the series too. There's certain, like Master Chief, you cannot. The voice is like.
Yeah, but what if he never had a voice in the beginning? Would you still not like Chief? That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
I think we still would like the game, but I think that his voice just takes it to the next level. You know what I mean? I really believe that. I mean, even there's no way we would ever know, because we can't. Mm-hmm. There's no way to know. But
right,
you know, yes, like that would be, if his voice wasn't there, I don't think he'd be as badass. I don't think he'd be as iconic as he is.
No,
now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Definitely, like the way we look at characters would be different.
Yeah.
But would that, like, obviously there would be some kind of change the way that we look at them. But it would. I don't know if it would be as big as like, because if you take away the developer,
there's no game.
there's no game.
There's
you know?
no game. Yeah.
They would have to just make that a cartoon, in which that case that's a different story. Like,
Yeah.
what if there wasn't any video games and there was just cartoons with voice actors? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you have to take into account animators and shit.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, we pretty much agree. I mean, I think they're important, but they're not that important.
Like, voice actors are important.
Yeah.
But it's the developers that are.
Yeah. Yeah. So their whole hashtag movement thing has been performance. Hashtag performance matters. Mm-hmm. And I think for certain games, something like The Last of Us, without the voice, like that game doesn't work.
Have you seen the beginning of Ori?
No.
Almost no voice except for like a gargle, like you can't understand the voice.
And it's emotion. It's still emotional.
Super fucking emotional.
Yeah, but
you can do it without having to have the voices. I mean, granted, I don't know how The Last of Us would do it, but you could do it without even having text.
Yeah, of course.
Granted, it had text though.
Of course, you could do it, but I don't think you could do The Last of Us. Like, for example, I just think that game, it's built on the emotion of the way he says things, you know, and the way. So,
but you got to remember, Last of Us was a little bit different because they used motion, like it was like a lot of motion capture. Yeah. And like whatever else they call it, like because they used the actors weren't just voice acting; they were actually acting.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's different.
That's different. That's the thing. It's not a cut and dry argument. It's not black and white. It's not just like, oh yeah, voice actors don't matter.
Like I said, if we're gonna cut it black and like if we're gonna cut it just black and white, developers by far.
Yeah. And well, here's where I think the voice actors are fucked with this. The developers don't have their back, and I think that's fucked up on the developers part. Because here's my thing is, yes, the developers are more important. Me and you both just agreed on that, but it's not like the voice actors are saying the developers aren't important.
No, they're not.
They're just saying we're important too. They're not even talking to the developers. They're talking to Activision, EA. You know, they're saying like we deserve more money. And then what's happened, the drama that's happened is that the developers have jumped in and been like, wait a minute, like you guys don't deserve more money. We deserve more money. Like we're here years making these games, which is true. Yeah. But like that's not the actor's fault. And
it's not. But it's one of those things. It's like maybe the developers don't feel underappreciated. You know. They do. But like that's the way, you know, they feel. Like, I mean, unfortunately that's the way the business is, and I guess, you know, for whatever reason they understand it. Maybe they try to fight against it, but there's no prevail. Like they don't prevail, you know. They just want to make their fucking games. Yeah. You know.
I think that the developers have fucked up here because the Activision and all these big, you know, Ubisoft and all of them are basically playing divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the thing about the voice actors is they have a union. And that's what's allowing them to stand together and actually make this news. I mean, we don't know if the strike's going to go through or not. Right. But it might. The thing is, the developers don't have a union. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. So yeah, that's just the way it works for them, you know? Yeah. Like,
but they should make a union.
They should, yeah.
That's their fault. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They should stand up if they really feel that way. You know, that they should stand up and make a union, because we're reading in the article, one of the articles we read, I think from Polygon or Kotaku. I want to miscredit, but it was one of those, and they were saying how the COO of Activision got a 3.9 million bonus, and I think the EA it got
almost 2.
Yeah, like 1.5 or something like that, and like. Yeah, I mean, if I was the developers, I would stand up and say, "Wait a minute, like, we deserve a cut." Like, they could have easily cut that 3.9. Give them $1 million. Just give them $1 million bonus. That's more than enough.
300,000. Like,
yeah, like you could have taken up that other $3 million and just cut it up, and like, cause the developers aren't asking for like $1 million in bonus. I'm sure they just want like a $5,000 bonus or a $10,000 bonus. You know, and then the other thing that's interesting about the voice actors argument is, in the long run, the way gaming is going, a lot of these games are recycled, repackaged. You get, you know, they're re-released, remastered, and they don't see any of that. You know, like The Last of Us is another perfect example. It's like they released the remake the next year, not the remake, the remaster, whatever. Now, I don't know how it worked, but I imagine Troy Baker. Or
was the only one that got it.
They gotta keep Troy Baker happy. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine the voice actors probably didn't get shit.
Troy and Ashley probably got like
the main.
Everyone else was like, oh, we can replace.
Yeah, and they're like, Troy's like, wait, I got my $20,000 check.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't get your check.
Well, I don't know. We're not gonna say that. We're not saying he did.
Yeah,
we're just saying if anything, the top people are the ones getting
taken care of
because. They're the top people for a reason.
Yeah, no, they got their check. I would imagine that too. We don't know, but yeah, I'm imagining. So that's a perfect example where gaming is changing and it's getting repackaged and what's happening to all that money. You know what I mean? Should they get a percentage? And of course, I imagine if you're a main voice actor, you'd get like 0.5%. Now, you know what I mean? It's not like something like they're not gonna give you 20% or anything like that, but. I think that matters, and I think the developers are being fucked up. What do you think about that? Do you think the developers should be backing up the voice actors? Are they going about it the wrong way?
Well, I think from what we read, there was only a couple developers. You know?
I mean, I read 3 different developers who tweeted out the same sentiment, whereas like, what the fuck? Like, we deserve the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. So like. I don't want to say it's their fault because it's only a couple of them saying anything. That doesn't mean shit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe as a whole, they have been trying to come up with something. It just nothing has worked and they haven't been able to, like, why would they want to put it forward if they know it's not going to work? We don't know.
Okay.
You know, so, I mean.
Okay, are these 3 developers being fucked up? The 3 that I read. I'm not going to generalize it to all of them, just these 3.
Cause like.
Do you think that they should be talking shit to the voice actors or what? Like, what? Is that in
I need to reread the tweets because I just saw their response. I want to see what they were responding to. But for the most part, they kind of like they really dropped the ball because maybe they shouldn't be getting. You should be also getting more money. It shouldn't be like, oh, I should be getting more money.
Yeah.
It should be we should be getting more money.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. See,
but I think it's one of those things like from one of the ones I read, the developers are very, I guess, just hurt because I'm sure they see the voice actors the same way a script writer sees an actor. You know? And they're like, bro, calm down. Like, we're doing this shit. You're making the lines come to life, but we wrote them or you know whatever. Because you know, I think one of the guys kind of like in a spiteful way said that, you know, a voice actor can make more than I can in a whole year working one day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, we like
we're working 12 hours a day for like. However many hours a week for a whole year.
Yeah, video game designers are notoriously artists, engineers. They're notoriously underpaid, and part of it is because gaming is one of those industries that are people when they go into that industry, they're fucking passionate about it. You know what I mean? I think almost everybody who works for a video game company does it because they love gaming. And so I think a lot of them just get complacent with it. Like, oh, I'm making games for a living. It doesn't matter if they're making their money or not. And gaming as it is today it's pretty like new still.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's only been 30 years since gaming has been really
and you can't and they're not. It's not like gaming and stuff like that works in our years. It's not like it's a 30-year-old. You know, it's like it's probably still in its adolescent phase.
Yeah. So I think soon something's gonna happen where you know, video game developers, you never know, they might go on strike against these companies,
and then no more games or just games being delayed.
Yeah, and the companies are gonna have to give up more money, and I think they have to, and they should, you know. And like I said, it's not like they're. It's just the whole, like, the companies are so greedy, they want to make all the money, whereas they have companies like from in a different
article.
No, I mean just in a different industry. Costco, for example, they're a really successful company, and they pay their employees way more than any other company like it pays them. But they have happy employees and
happy customers.
Happy customers
for the most part.
Yeah, and then Costco, they might not make as much money as a company,
like
but they're
Walmart.
still rich.
Yeah, they don't make as much money as like something like Walmart.
Yeah.
It's fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
You ever see their customers smiling? I mean, not the customers, their workers smiling when someone's not looking. Like,
yeah, they're just
like whenever someone's looking, like the camera's on them. Like, as soon as it turns away, it's like,
what the fuck are you? Yeah, I mean, I think that's the business model that's needed. So this is a really interesting debate to me. I'm interested to see what happens. I think the developers who are against the voice actors strike, they need to get on board, because if the voice actors win their strike, if they have wins out of their strike, then I think that's only going to pave the way for the developers to also do the same, you know, after them, because the developers are the most important aspect of it, you know, by far.
It can't. There's like I said, you don't need. We've already seen that you don't need the big companies.
Yeah.
You don't need the voice actors.
Yeah.
You can make a very successful game with just like the developers,
yeah.
just the people working on the actual.
Yeah, just an independent
software.
company. And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, that's the roots of the whole industry. I mean, back in the day, back in the Atari days, you had two people working on one game, and they would publish it, and they would make the money. Like, that's the roots of the whole industry. And of course, it becomes this giant thing, but it's always like, we can always go back to the roots and what it is. So they better pony up, they better pay up.
Yeah, because they're also going to be getting a lot more indie games.
Yeah,
maybe not as high quality, but we're getting a lot more of them.
And before we go to the next topic, which is just off of what you just said, is just that, like, it is starting to shift too, though, because we talked about this before, how it's a lot of big developers are getting tired of the whole AAA industry, right? And then so we're getting a lot of these indie games that are from top tier developers.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And we have, like, what was the ones, I always forget the name, Ukulele, for example. Like, that's an indie game, but that's not an indie game.
Yeah.
Mighty Number 9.
Not an indie game. There's also a game in the same, like a homage to Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
There's another game coming out, like, I think by someone from that game.
No, it was the original. I forgot his name, but he's the creator, and he wanted to do that style. Yeah. So I mean, there you go. I mean, that's what's gonna end up happening, and the people are willing to fund it. Us fans of gaming are willing to fund these projects. We've shown it time and time again.
These projects sometimes aren't aren't paying off. So
that's
So we're gonna move on to just a little bit of delays. One of the delays got me really mad.
I know.
Really mad.
Delays.
So Mighty Number 9, there was a big Kickstarter almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, and it raised a lot of money. I can't remember the number. But it was supposed to come
Millions.
out... Millions, yeah. It was supposed to come out...
September 15th,
when The Taken King came out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went to GameStop, midnight... or not midnight, 9 o'clock over here.
Yeah.
Ready to get... I already pre-ordered Destiny, so I was going to pick up... I was just like, can I just buy Number 9? He's like, oh, it got delayed. I'm like, what? Granted, I hadn't been following the gaming news for a little bit because we haven't been doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've been busy. So when I was like, what do you mean it's been delayed? Like till next week?
Yeah.
No, till 2016.
That's when Javi flipped the table over. He threw some games on the side. I'm not leaving till you give me Mighty Number 9.
Yeah. So Mighty Number 9 is a game along with at least 4 others we kind of not. I guess Mighty Number 9 is a big game, but
I don't know. But you know that just it was a little weird to me because they delayed it like really close to when it was about to come out.
Yeah, like I swear they delayed it the day of.
Yeah, like
out.
no, yeah, like they delayed it really close, and I'm wondering like if they just hit some catastrophic glitch or something like that, where they're like, oh man, this
and it's gonna take them like half a year to fix.
Yeah,
like, come on. I don't know. So I don't know what it is. I don't know, like. Why did they put that timeline on themselves?
Yeah,
you know, if the game wasn't gonna be done. Just it's fine if the game isn't done. I'd rather it be done, but like the worst thing you could possibly do is miscommunication and no communication.
Yeah, yeah. So, 2016.
Yeah. So Mighty Number 9 was pushed back. Star Fox, we heard.
Star Fox is coming out on the Nintendo NX. I'm telling you, just trust, guys. Just trust me, please.
Adr1ft, which I don't remember that game.
Okay, Adr1ft is a space game, kind of like that movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas like some disaster happens on a space station.
It's not a VR one, right?
Well, that's the thing. That's why they delayed it. Now it's gonna be VR. It's gonna be a launch title for the Rift.
I think I saw it at E3.
Yeah.
With the VR.
Okay, well now it's gonna be a launch title. It was gonna come out on consoles, but now it's gonna be a launch title with the Rift. So I was like, okay. That seems like a business decision to me. They've always said that it was gonna come out in September this year, and then just I think yesterday they were like, oh, this has been pushed back to 2016. It's gonna be a launch title with the Oculus Rift.
Well, I don't know how many people were looking forward to that because it seems like that's something that would be good on the Rift.
Exactly. So like it looks amazing as far as like an atmospheric game.
Yeah, I think my friend got to play it. He was like he liked it. He liked it.
And then the other game is Hitman, which got delayed until March.
Never been a huge fan of Hitman. Know the series and know it has a legacy, but
it's one of those mid-tier games. You know what I mean? I think
like
that,
a B movie.
Yeah, it's just I think some people there's a little cult following to it, but it's never been like maybe part 2, but after that it was like whatever. But either way, it's like this is the season of delays. So my question is,
season of delays since fucking 2013 E3.
I know the Division. We're still waiting on that. Jesus. But I want to ask you, what game do you think is most likely to be delayed, if any more?
Maybe Mirror's Edge and maybe Tomb Raider. Maybe we'll hear something about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. So? There's no fucking way.
I just gonna hear next month.
No, I asked you. I asked you earlier. You're like Halo 5.
Yeah, I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, I was like, no way. There's no way. All right, which games will absolutely not be delayed?
Halo 5, Black Ops 3,
Assassin's Creed.
You don't think Assassin's Creed could be delayed for something?
I doubt it. What about Battlefront? Nah, I think there's too much. There's too much marketing there. Yeah, they'd rather release a broken game and fix it later.
Yeah, that's true. I guess Ubisoft wouldn't mind doing that either.
I think Just Cause can get delayed. Just Cause 3.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean that yeah, I guess that could, but that game is just meant to be fun, you know.
Yeah, and I think Fallout could get delayed. I think Fallout 4 can get delayed, but not like by months.
No, it has to be like,
but like 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah,
maybe. But they have to let us know now. Like they have to let us know today.
Well, I mean, because like I went Arkham Knight. Remember that got delayed 3 times. The first time it got delayed 6 months, and then it got delayed a month, and then it got delayed like 2 weeks. So like in same thing with Titanfall. So like I could see Fallout being delayed maybe like 2 weeks.
Yeah. all I'm letting these publishers know is fine, let it be delayed, just let us know. Don't tell us the day it comes out.
Don't let Javi show up to GameStop
with the money in hand
and just have to throw things around.
I'm not allowed at that GameStop anymore.
There's a fucking poster in front that says this person cannot enter.
I had to send my brother to buy my game. Shit.
You stole all the Mega Mans just out of spite. I think Fallout 4 can be delayed, but it is what it is.
Does Doom come out this year?
No, okay. Next year.
I'm gonna say the Division's gonna be delayed again.
You think so?
We're gonna hear later on like the Division's being delayed.
I think Uncharted will be delayed again.
Oh, it didn't just recently get. That's one of the ones, or was it the collection that got delayed?
No, the part 4 got delayed. That's gonna be delayed again.
Whoever wrote this script gets fired. They didn't write that down.
Yeah, Uncharted will undoubtedly be delayed again. And trust me, guys, every big Nintendo game is delayed until Nintendo.
That's why there isn't any big Nintendo game. Yeah, I mean, like, as much as I like Star Fox is cool. I never really played it. Yeah. I know it's like a big game. It's not a big game.
Yeah.
Like compared to their other stuff.
Yeah, but the Nintendo Next is gonna have Zelda
on launch,
Star Fox on launch,
the new Super Smash Brothers, which they didn't tell anyone about on launch.
Sorry, they won't. They might have a low key Mario though. I'll give you that. Mario. They have a low key Mario. They won't have like a Mario Galaxy, or they have like Super Mario Brother World.
I would love a Paper Mario.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean,
I really like that one.
So I mean, yeah, the season of delays, guys. It's I already knew. Like, but
at least people can save money now. All the games they wanted to buy are being delayed. So they can save your money.
That's true. Need for Speed might be delayed. That's another one.
Tony Hawk should have been delayed, from what I've heard.
Like it should have been delayed like 10 years. That game.
I haven't played it. Maybe it's still good, but I've been looking it up and it just doesn't seem like. No. Doesn't seem like much. I mean, maybe they try to recapture the old one too much, from what I understand.
It looks terrible. And I'm a big Tony Hawk fan. I was like, I'm not buying this shit. I am not buying it.
It's a $6 game, right?
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Fuck that.
I might just check it out because I haven't seen any videos on it. I just seen like news and reviews on it.
Yeah.
And they're kind of low. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, not worth it. But anyways, guys, the delays have hit. And we predicted Fallout 4. I predicted Fallout 4.
Maybe Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, I think that was delayed already too. No, or no, it hasn't been. That comes out like in March anyway.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Well, I can't think of anything else like coming out that I would think to be delayed. Maybe Assassin's Creed. You know?
Like right now it's gonna be Assassin's Creed, Halo, Tomb Raider, Just Cause. Hitman already got delayed. Mm-hmm. Battlefront.
So there's nothing I don't think Battlefront's gonna be delayed because they have to get it out before the movie.
Yeah, they have to.
Even if the game is broken.
And it's like Halo and Battlefront. Like those games are being so heavily promoted, and it has a date on them and everything. Like they can't change it. You know, they rather just release a broken game.
So that's why I don't think Tomb Raider would get delayed because
that one's been pretty heavy in promotion.
Yeah, and also Xbox is like, you know, they need that game out. Yeah. I guess Fallout would be. I honestly think Fallout and Assassin's Creed are like the top, most likely.
Hey, side question here before we leave. You know, the whole console war is really going to go down this holiday season. If Xbox doesn't catch up or get close to catching up, I think it's over. As far as for this generation, it's never going to catch up. Because this holiday season has both Halo and Tomb Raider, okay? Now here's my side question though. Do you think that EA Access is going to be a big deal for them? Because EA is going to release both Need for Speed and Battlefront on EA Access, only on Xbox because PlayStation doesn't have EA Access. So you'll get to play those full games 5 days early. Do you think they're going to heavily promote that?
Well, I'm curious. They've been heavily promoting Battlefront as PlayStation, right?
Yeah. I don't know. So, like, do you think Microsoft is going to be like, all right, well...
Well, I don't know if they can because, like, I'm sure EA has some kind of, like, advertising deal with Sony.
I don't know. I mean, like, if that were true, then if I were Xbox, why the fuck would I even get EA Access if I can't promote it? You know what I mean? Like they paid to have EA Access.
Right. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. But like, it doesn't seem like that's something that could be done. You know, just because like why would PlayStation pay for the advertisement if they're going to be advertised that the game's going to be earlier over there? You know, that's what doesn't make sense to me.
Well, they're advertising like exclusive content.
Right.
So like, okay, let's just assume that they can advertise it. Let's just say it can. Well, that's sway gamers. Do you think?
Like those two games, I don't think so. They're not big enough. Battlefront? Maybe, but
like, all right. So like, I'm wondering because I'm wondering if Xbox is gonna do one of these trailers like this holiday season, like Halo 5, Rise of the Tomb Raider, EA Access, get 5 days early,
Like they just mentioned Tomb Raider and Halo, and then just like go into a full thing about EA Access.
Yeah, like I can't wait to talk about this more because like I love the console war as far as like it's just so funny to read people get really mad about it, and like I can't wait to have Microsoft. Like I think they're gonna start bombarding things with like just promos, and I'm wondering if that's gonna be one of them because like I think that's
I hope the promos are just like the Halo Guardian case and the Tomb Raider case, and that's it. That's the whole trailer.
Yeah,
that's it. Like they're just like 2 seconds, and that's it. And then go.
Xbox only on Xbox.
No. They don't even need to say that. Just like Xbox. Like, they just dropped the mic. Like that's it. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But if they don't catch up this holiday season, it's over. I'm calling it over for this generation. Like I don't think they'll catch up.
I don't think so. Just because fucking neither of them have games.
They have Halo now.
Well, they have Halo now. That's what I'm saying. But like I don't think any of them like. As like, granted, yeah, it is losing by quite a bit, but I think they'll still be steady on each other for a while. Hey, if this for whatever reason this doesn't do well, until whatever game like because they like Halo is very popular, and then Tomb Raider is only a time exclusive. So
yeah,
I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure that's gonna be a big deal, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna end here if they don't catch up.
Well, I will agree to disagree. I think it's I think it's over if Xbox doesn't catch up.
Right.
It's over. This console war is over. Wait for 4 or 5 years till the next stuff starts popping up. But all right, guys, it's been fun. We're back with the Nerds with Glasses podcast. We'll be back next week. The new day is Tuesday. We're gonna be posting them on Tuesday. Scheduling conflicts, but Tuesday podcast day. Yay!
We can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Like
yay!
I was trying to think like Tuesday like
podcast Tuesdays.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. I mean, just the name.
Podcast PTs.
PTs. Okay.
There you go. Podcast Tuesdays. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next week. Peace.